Let's go. Welcome to On the Attack with Mac, a podcast meant to inspire, motivate, and even educate you to go out there and win in life. I am your host, Cornell Mack, and your boy is geeked up today because the first time of the year, it did not rain. It was beautiful out, and we had a full day of mowing, and I am excited. Also, we got Sunset Outdoors in the building, Lignum Lawns in the building, Manny Martinez in the building, Life is Bliss in the building, Carter Vedrode, who will be on the show a little bit later, is in the building, Rowski Yard and Home is in the building. If you want to be shouted out on YouTube, you need to get in this comment section. Let me know you're here. Let me know how your day was going, whether you're watching on YouTube or Instagram. But if you want to be shouted on YouTube, you got to hit the comment section so that I know that you are here. It's going to be a fun show today. And I want to tell you that your time is now. That's going to be a little bit about what the show is about today. We will get to this week's motivational minute here in a second. We also will tell you who this week's winner of the week is. And last but certainly not least, we have my homie Marcus Tate, the LBC OG's word of the week coming at you before we get to the weekly recap. And then our guest today, who is my homie Carter Vedrode from up there in Michigan. But we got Cower Lawn Care in the building, Noah's Lawn Care in the building, Risinger Justin 11 in the building, 507 Enterprises in the building. Johnston Lawn Service LLC in the building, Placid Turf Pros in the building, Bees Grass Cutting, Penn Brothers Lawn and Landscape, and McLean Lawn Care in the building on YouTube. Thank you for joining the show tonight. We will get to this week's motivational minute here in a second. But I always like to start the show by engaging with the people who watch live. We do this show each and every Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern on YouTube and co-streamed over on Instagram. It is always a good time to be with you, the people from the community, the Mac Attack family, the Light Bringers community, the LBC members who always come through to have a good time with us on Monday nights. Man, it's been a wonderful day. We will talk all about that in a second. But I'm also going to let you know why I am now officially really retired from flag football. My gosh, man. Oh my God. We'll get to that here in a second. But let me pull up this word of the week so that I can just get right to it when we get to that portion of the show. My homie Marcus Tate sends me some every Monday to get me ready to go, and I would like to get you ready to go. But we got Cut the Kill Lawn Care in the building. He says, yes, sir, time for that daily motivation. I hope that you guys enjoy the show, man. We also got a new 5-star review. I'll go ahead and read that first before we even get started because I will forget to do that. And it's always good to do that right at the beginning of the show. But we do got a new 5-star review on the podcast. And if you would like the podcast to get to more people, all you got to do is go over to Apple or Spotify, however you listen to your podcast or wherever you listen to your podcast. But the only ones I can read are on Apple and Spotify. Apple is the easiest. So go on Apple if you have an iPhone. You're in the iPhone family. We love you. All right. We appreciate you. We wish you nothing but success, but also the people who watch on Spotify as well. But this week we have a brand new 5-star review, and it is from the Pond Digger. It says, greatest smile in the game, 5 stars. Max Smile matches his energy. It is electric. So much good stuff on this podcast. Well, I appreciate that. That means a lot. Pond Digger, he was a guest on the show, and he thought he should go and give it a 5-star review. So I appreciate that. We got Anthony Beavers in the building on YouTube, CNC Lawn and Gardening in the building. That's my sister, Janelle, from CNC Lawn and Gardening. We got Seeds Landscaping and LBCOG in the building. Michael Crouch, 88 in the building. What is going on? Harold Wilson, LLC in the building. Wilson Lawn, LLC, Beeves Landscaping. Happy Monday as well, he says to everyone that's out here. But uh, now that we got that 5-star review out of the way, let's go ahead and get to this week's motivational minute. I got no producer. I say that a lot. All right. I'm the producer, the talent, the editor. Well, it's a live show, so we don't even edit. I had to tell my mom that my mouth is really dry for whatever reason. But we're going to get to this week's motivational minute, and it is a quote. I've been going through this quote book that my wife got me, and it's really good. Whatever's on my mind, I find something that, kind of can bring that to life for you. And one of the things that we always say is, you're the actor, you're the director, you're the producer, you're the everything in your own life. All right. And this quote is from Dolly Parton, who I make a joke about with Cedric every Wednesday on Lawn Care Power Moves, 9 p.m. Eastern. You can watch that as well. But this one is similar to that. And Dolly Parton says, if you don't like the road you're walking, then pave a new one. Today or yesterday, I can't remember when it was, might have been a couple days ago, a guy hit me up in the DMs and he said that his job was telling him he could not be off for his kid's birthday. And he really wanted to know, how do I get more customers? Because he wants to leave his job, right? And so he's looking at paving a new road because he don't like currently the one that he's currently walking on. I said currently twice. Well, now three times. All right. You have the ability with your own life to change things. You are the actor. You are the director. You're the writer and you're the producer. You get to make cuts. You get to add new characters into your life. You get to add new scenes into your movie. It is your movie and you have the control over everything that there is. If you do not like the road that you're currently walking, if someone is trying to tell you there's a detour and you got to go a different way, nah, man, blaze your own trail. You don't need other people to tell you what you can and can't do. If you don't like what's going on, change it. If you don't like how the movie's going, change it. If you don't like the channel you're on, change it. You have that power. How do I know? Because I changed my life. I changed my life through lawn care. And now I'm changing my life even more through doing some things on social media. I didn't like how things were going for my own personal self. I didn't like what it was doing to me. I didn't like not being home with my family. I didn't like other people controlling where I could go, when I could be off, if I could go do something or not, telling me I got to come in here when I don't feel like it. I changed and started paving my own road. I changed the scenes. I'm the director. I made changes in my life and now I get to do what I like to do. I wake up in the morning with joy. That's what I tell people all the time I want for them. So if you're unhappy with how things are going, if you don't like the road that you're on, pave a new road. Walk in the road that's least traveled. There's so many people out here stuck at jobs that they hate, working for people that don't appreciate them. Well, I appreciate me. And you should appreciate you. And it doesn't mean that you got to just stop everything. Hey, the buck stops here. I'm going to quit my job when you know that job is paying you to be able to sustain the life that you currently have. But what you can do is start to build. It doesn't mean you're going to be able to go on that road and it's going to be ready to go right now. You have to pave it. All right. And when you have to pave it, they close it off for a bit. They got someone out there with a sign that says slow or stop, right? But that's why they're doing the road work so we can have a new way to go. And sometimes that's what it's going to be for you. So some people can just say, up, the buck stops here, and we're going to go in this new direction. We ain't worried about if the road is paved or not. We ain't worried about if there's a game trail or not. And people have already been walking this way a little bit. Some of us have been. And it might have to be a dirt road for a little while. But eventually you're going to pave it and then you'll be going 90 miles an hour like all of these other people that you see on the internet. So, again, I say, if you don't like the road that you're on, pave a new one. Shout out to my girl, Dolly Parton. That concludes this week's motivational minute. Man, I enjoy when the people hit me up and they're DMing me asking questions and things because what I always say is I'm not special. All I can do is tell you my story, and then you can use it and hopefully make it a little bit of your story because you're going to write your own story. But sometimes we need to see how other movies are going. I just watched a movie over the weekend before we get to this week's winner of the week called G20, and it has Viola Davis in it. She's the president of the United States. I'm not going to go all into it, but the G20 gets hijacked by some people. All right, they want to change the world through for whatever reason. But that movie is the same as White House Down and the same as Olympus Has Fallen. People just keep making the same movie in different ways, right? You change out what is his name, Gerard Butler for Channing Tatum. You change out uh, Channing Tatum for this Mexican guy who was her Secret Service guy. Then you had Jamie Foxx as the president in one. I want to say it was Morgan Freeman was the president in another one. And now you got Viola Davis as the president. It's the same movie. I ain't gonna lie to you. But they just keep remaking it. So that's sort of kind of like, paving your own road, but you already know that people have walked it and that it is possible, right? So you can do it too. G20 is on Amazon. You should go out and check that out. I guess not go out, sit on your couch and check that out. But this week's winner of the week is a good friend of mine, my homie Kyle Briner with Briner Lawn Care over in Ohio. He's big on Instagram. I think he has something like 126,000 subscribe or followers, whatever you call it on Instagram. But the reason he's this week's winner of the week, and if you would like to be a winner of the week, you would nominate yourself, you want to nominate someone else who inspires you, or maybe I'll just see something that you posted because that's how I found this one. And you can be the winner of a winner of the week. We can have multiple sometimes, and sometimes we do, but to this week we only have one, and that is my homie Kyle Briner. And the reason is because he got a brand new Ferris 3300 zero turn with a 40 horsepower engine. That thing must be zooming around yards like a NASCAR. A 40 horsepower engine sounds insane, man. I can't wait until it's time for me to get my new mower that's going to have a 37 horsepower engine, I think, maybe even 38. But anytime someone gets something new that's going to increase their business, or they start a business, or they have a new child, or some new accomplishment in their life, maybe their kid graduates, or they upgrade from a small trailer to a bigger trailer, they get some more yards or whatever, you can be a winner of the week because it's all about telling people about the wins that we have in our business, in our life, so that other people know that they can do it too. And so, shout out to Kyle. His hard work is paying off. He was able to invest in a brand new Ferris 3300 zero turn with a 40 horsepower engine. Man, I can't wait to see some of the stripes he's going to lay on his Instagram channel with that thing. But now let's get to this week's word of the week. Then we will go ahead and get to my weekly recap, and then we will get my homie Carter Vedrode in here. I think I have to put the link to join the show in the comment section, so we'll do that before we get to this week's word of the week. And if you would like to be on the show, all you got to do is DM me at Mac underscore landscaping 412 on Instagram, or you can email me at maclandscaping412 at gmail.com, and let me know if you have a cool story, or you want to help some people to win in life by telling your story, because that's what it's all about, sharing the light of information here. That's why we call them the light bringers. But we got PR Lawn Care in the building, Tom's Lawn Care in the building, Great Grandscape Outdoors in the building, TJSUS in the building, Sincere Jacobs, Clark Williamson, Lawn Father, James Goosey says the day got out of the corporate world was dead end. The day I got out of the corporate world, um, dead end was amazing. Shout out to you, bro. Bro, Christopher Kleckler's always a great day. Change something, man. I love it. We got elevated lawnscapes in the building. PR Lawn Care Florida in the building. Shout out to you guys. And let me see if we got some more people down here. All right, I see my man Carter's in the thing. CLP says, "What up, Big Mac?" Motown. What up, Mac? What's going on with y'all, man? Still all good. 510 says he's starting a lawn care business. Shout out to you. I appreciate it. Beeves Landscaping says, "Man, you are speaking to me right now. I just got back from purchasing my truck 15 minutes ago." Hey, man, you're a winner of the week too, Beeves Landscaping. Just got a brand new truck. We got my homie D Mac in the building. Says, "What's up, everyone? Happy Monday, happy Monday, happy Monday." Hey, I'm excited every time I get to turn on this camera and these microphones, get to talk to you guys. But let me get to this week's word of the week, and we will get to my weekly recap, and then we'll get my man Carter in here because he's already down there in the green room. Shout out to him for being on time. I said 9:25 or so. He is in here on time. Where in the heck is this thing at? My goodness, man. Sheesh. There it is. All right. This week's word of the week, rise and shine. Word of the week, pure in heart. I guess this is the phrase of the week. Okay. That's three words right there. Pure in heart. Pure in heart is having the ability to navigate through life with good intentions. Being filled with a pure heart means you have an optimistic outlook on life. Me personally, I believe it allows you to see the world in a new light. We all know that we will experience things in life that want to keep us down, but you can never keep a person with a pure heart down. They will always rise to the top. The pure in heart sow righteous seeds in the world that will be returned back to them with a harvest in their time of need. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. That is from Matthew chapter 8, chapter 5, verse 8 in the New King James Version of the Bible. Have a great week, Tate. Shout out to my homie Marcus Tate, who's always leaving that good word. And when you're pure in heart, and I feel like I am, I just want to see other people succeed because I'm going to succeed anyway, right? Um, but having a pure heart and doing things when you are already going to be optimistic in your own life, but to help other people so that they can be optimistic, man, do that. I can't even explain to you how good it will make you feel to help someone else. I heard Denzel Washington say one time that the most selfish thing you could do is to do something for someone else because of how it will make you feel. So do something nice for people. Speak life into people. Be someone that people can talk to you and then you can give them sound advice, not because it's going to help you, even though it will, but because it will help them, which in turn will help you. So have a pure heart when you do things. But each and every week, I am excited to read Tate's word of the week because he's always speaking life into me, which I will then share with you. Styling Good says, built different landscaping. I guess that's going to be the name. Oh, I like that, man. Be built different. That's what I like to hear. But let me run through this. Excuse me. Let me run through this week's weekly recap real quick. Then we'll get Carter in here and we'll have a good conversation. I met this young man when I was up in Michigan. So he's been supposed to be on the podcast for a minute, and today is his day. His time is now, just like the doggone topic of the podcast today. So today it was the first, like I said earlier, the first warm day. As soon as I went outside, I didn't even need a coat on. We didn't even wear gloves today because it wasn't so bright, but it was warm. It was probably like 60 degrees when I went outside this morning at 7 in the morning, which was such a welcome sight after the freezing cold of last week. But we had our first full day of mowing, and let me tell you, the grass smells good when it is fresh cut, man. I can't tell you how much joy comes to my heart whenever we get out there early in the morning. It's bright, you hear the birds chirping. My wife got parakeets in her house now, so these birds are chirping early. The early bird gets the worm. I'm ready to fry these boys up. Telling you that right now, that because they are out here chirping. But I got outside, heard the birds chirping. We loaded the mowers up, got out to our first yard around 8:15, and lit up them grass cutting go-karts, and the grass was smelling amazing. And I had such a great day, man. Me and Captain Jack just getting after it, getting the jobs done one after another. We got 19 yards done today because I stopped the day a little early. My 14-year-old had a track meet, so we went to go see her do that. She won the discus, came in second in the shot put, and I'm not sure where she fared when it came to the triple jump, which she also does. But they had a good track meet. I also locked in the dates for this year's Win in Life meetup at Equip Expo. So be on the lookout for an Eventbrite link for that soon. If you're going to be at Equip Expo this year, make sure you sign up for the Win in Life meetup. We had 263 people who signed up last year, and I'm ready to up the ante a little bit. So we will get that link up pretty soon. Probably by the time you hear this podcast, it will be up if you are a podcast listener. And we will get it up as quickly as I can for you guys who watch it live every week on Instagram and YouTube. But last year's event was amazing. We will bring back the rock, paper, scissors tournament as always. We will also have the best dressed contest again. Better come out there ready to win. Cause man, I'm telling you, my man Luke Falk, I think his name was Luke. He came out, he had a whole get up on. He won. All right. So we will have some prizes for the winners of those games as well as the strike challenge and maybe a couple door prizes like we did last year. But all in all, the meetup is for that to meet up with your fellow entrepreneurs, whatever you want to call them down here to create relationships so that you can have people that you can count on, that you can talk to, that you can share advice with, that you can share wins with. Because what I've come to understand, and this is why it's called the Win in Life meetup. It's my events are called Win in Life, is because what I've come to understand is that when other people are winning, they ain't worried about the losers in their life who want to hate on them and worry about the things that they got and don't want to celebrate the victories. I want to be around people who are winning so that I don't have to be feeling bad when I'm talking about the wins in my life. I want to share good energy with other people, and the Win in Life meetup is a great place where you can do that. So it will be Wednesday night from 6 to 10 p.m. at Wednesday night. I think it's the 22nd. Let me pull that up real quick. I should have wrote that down. But October 22nd. Yeah, I was right. October 22nd from 6 to 10 p.m. It will be at Vernon Lanes again. So it is a bowling event, family friendly, but you do have to sign up and it will be free if you would like to attend. But all of the details will be in the Eventbrite link whenever it becomes available, which will be soon. But yeah, we have that locked in. And so I look forward to seeing you there. And if you are in the comment section right now and you was at the event last year, let the people know what they're gonna get, man. It was fun. I couldn't believe how many people came. I couldn't believe it each year that we've had it, but last year in particular, 263 people. It was amazing. Also, I finalized my Vegas trip. I might have mentioned that last week. I can't remember. I get the shows mixed up, but I finalized my Vegas trip. There will be a lawn and landscape magazine, which is called the Lawn and Landscape Technology Conference, July 23rd through the 25th at Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas. So I'm not sure when the doors open or anything. This has been a thing they've been doing for the last 6 years. And Pod Row will be there. Shout out to LCR Media, Naylor Taliaferro, who does the Pod Row thing. We will be at that together, me, him, Pajak, Mike Garvey, and Larry with the Side Hustle podcast. So Profits with Pajak, On the Attack with Mac, LCR Media podcast, and the Side Hustle podcast, doing live podcast interviews in the Caesars Palace. Man, it's going to be amazing. It's just like Equip Expo, I think. I haven't been here yet, so I'm also looking forward. It will be my first time, and it will be yours too. You can sign up at the Lawn and Landscape conference. I don't know. I'll get the website and try to put it in the show notes. So if you would like to go, or you live in the Vegas area or close to the Vegas area, or if you want to fly and travel, like I'll be doing, you can come out there and hang out with the guys. I'll be out there from Tuesday through Friday, I think. So the 22nd through the 25th. But yeah, we would love to have you there, man. It's going to be a fun time. Also, I would like to announce that I will be a guest on the morning show at Equip Expo Thursday morning, the day after the Winning Life meetup, uh, being interviewed by one of the podcasters that's up there. So they've been doing the morning show for the last 4 or 5 years down there, and this will be my first opportunity to be on the stage and be interviewed live on either the what is it called? The LCR Media podcast or the it's Caleb Allman's podcast, which is called why can't I think of that right now? Kid Contractor Podcast. So I'm excited to be there for that. It is free for you to attend that, but it was standing room only the last few years that I was there. So get there early, get your seats, and come hang out. Get in the building a little bit early so you can go see the stuff a little bit early because you'll already be in the building. Let's go. But I will be up on the stage talking to one of these great friends of mine and doing that stuff up on the stage. It's going to be amazing. I also will be the LCR Summit MC again for the second consecutive year, which is on Monday and Tuesday, Equip Expo week. I want to say it's the 19th and the 20th, or the 20th and the 21st this year, but I will be the MC. So you can sign up for that at lcrmedia.com. And tickets are on sale now, I believe. Uh, Last but certainly not least, before I tell you this quick funny story, is my 5-year-old started playing sports today. So we had her first soccer practice. Me and my wife, Cassie, took my daughter to her first ever soccer practice. So she's starting soccer and basketball this year. I am so excited. I could cry, literally, just thinking about my little girls. Now my 14-year-old does track basketball. She's gonna play flag football in high school next year. Um, it's just fun to see them compete. And now my little 5-year-old, because she's seen her big sister doing it, she wants to do it too. My daughter's also a cheerleader. But she wants to do all of that stuff. Why? Because she sees her big sister doing it. And don't we all, if you I am the big brother, so I I never had that kind of stuff. I had to look at Michael Jordan and Deion Sanders and Joe Montana and Jerry Rice as the people who motivated me. But being the older brother, I got to see the impact that I got to have on my younger brother who played sports as well. And now I get to see the impact that my 14-year-old is having on my 5-year-old. So shout out to my kids for getting into sports, but my 5-year-old starting soccer, and she said, "Daddy, I had a good time and I made 2 new friends." And that is always a good thing, man. Networking, even at an early age, I'm teaching them young. All right. But yeah, it was amazing to see her do soccer, and I can't wait for Thursday because sports, when it comes to sports, it is basketball for me. I love basketball, I love football, and to see her get to play basketball is going to be funny, but also fun to watch. And now, before I get Carter in here, man, let me tell you one thing I did over the weekend. I go to church every Sunday, and I was on my way to church. My wife teaches Sunday school, so she leaves early in the morning. She leaves stuff out for my 5-year-old. Then my 14-year-old does my 5-year-old's hair. She gets her dressed and everything while I sleep. Then we all go to church on the Sundays that are like that. What's going on with you, Cowboy Crawley? But on my way to church, one of my favorite people to play flag football with hits me up. His name is Joey. So Joey calls me. He's like, "What you doing?" I said, "I'm going to church." "Why? What's up?" He's like, We only have, you know, a few players today. Would you want to come play quarterback for us, for our team?" This is a national, they've won national championships down in this huge tournament that has 700 teams come to it down in Florida. So I was like, I ain't really got nothing to do after this. My wife is going to a birthday party. So let me talk to her first and then we'll see. I'll let you know. So I go to church, see my wife. I'm like, "What we doing after this?" She's like, "Birthday party." I'm like, "I don't want to go to that. You know that?" Well, my boy wants me to come play some flag football. She's like, "Well, go have fun. This party's gonna be boring anyway for you. Like, not for her, but for me. I hate, not that I hate birthday parties. It's just I don't really have nothing to do after birthday parties. I'm gonna just be real. Little kid birthday parties I'm talking about." So she says, "Go ahead and play." So I said, "All right, cool." So I go up, go home, put my uniform on, because we got to be stylish out here, and shoot over to the field. And I get there, find out we're playing 4-man and 5-man. 5 games. 5 games. I was excited. The first play of the first game, I threw a touchdown pass. I probably threw 18 touchdown passes in the 5 games. Had 2 sacks for safeties where I rushed and went and sacked a quarterback for a safety. Um, it was fun. It was amazing. And then I realized something. I know why people actually do retire. I will never compare myself to a professional athlete. They get paid millions of dollars to do stuff that they love, playing a little kid's game. It is an amazing thing. It must be the best life ever. And it's a life that I used to want to have. But when the people who can still play retire, now I understand why. Like I said before on this podcast a whole bunch of times, I was retired against my will because the league that I played in went under when they're supposed to come back in July. So I'm like, I wanted to play again. Well, after yesterday, I'm gonna tell you something right now. The games were fun. Right after the games was over was not fun anymore. My whole body hurts. I'm talking about sore. I couldn't sit down. I didn't want to stand up. I can't bend over. It's hurting right now just to sit in this doggone chair. I don't know how LeBron James is doing this, man. At 40 years old. I really don't. I am officially retired. I have no desire to do this ever again. I don't want to play no more. All I want to do now is get on my grass cutting go karts and then turn on these cameras every now and then to talk to you. All right. So your boy's officially retired from flag football. It was a fun time. But now that I've talked enough, I want to get my man Carter Vedrode in here, who I met up at LAL last year. He went to Cold Stone Creamery with me. The boy was driving a Cadillac. I said, "Whoa, man, your car is nice. How old are you?" I don't know if he was old enough to drive, but we'll hear about that here in a second. Without further ado, my homie Carter Vedrode is in the building. How you doing, brother?
Good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, wow, you got
Awesome, awesome.
no audio. I love that for us.
Yeah, I had to get it all set up for you, man.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. So, before we get going, tell everyone the name of your business, where you're from, and what do you specialize in?
So my name is Carter Vedrode. I own CV Landscaping up here in uh, it's around central Michigan. It's Midland, Saginaw, Bay City area, somewhere in there. It's on the east side of Michigan. We do weekly lawn maintenance, landscaping. We're looking to get more into that landscaping side of things, trying to get things moving and grooving over there. So we're just trying to grow as much as we can this year and see where it takes us.
Yeah, look, man. Whenever I met Carter, first of all, he came up to me. He's like, "What's up, Mac? How you doing?" I'm like, "What up?" You know what I mean? He looked young. All right, but we got outside. My man had a Cadillac with an orange leather interior. This thing was fire. I'm like, "What you doing?" He went to Buffalo Wild Wings with us. We went over to Cold Stone Creamery afterwards. And how old are you?
16.
All right, so he
I
was.
had just turned 16,
That's
like
right.
a couple weeks before, like 2 or 3 weeks before.
Thank God, because I didn't want to say something and get my man in trouble. Well, he was driving a Cadillac, and I said, "You know what? You're not a kid. Anytime someone owns a business, I don't care if they're 11." I told the story about my man Luke. I don't know how old he is now, 14 maybe, but he was talking to me like a grown man. And because I was talking to him in the DMs, and he said, I gotta go to school tomorrow, Mac. And then I heard a kid voice. I said, "How old are you?" He said, 11. I said, "Oh my God, this is crazy. I hope your parents know you're talking to me." You know what I mean? But every time I meet someone who's young, Carter, I now see him as a man because you could be doing all types of other things, but he invested in his own self to go to a networking event to learn from some of the industry titans. So, why don't you tell us a little bit about that experience before we even get started? What made you go to an event like that when you're so young?
So I don't know what I was thinking the first time I went down there. I had been listening to Brian's stuff, Brian Fullerton, Brian's Lawn Maintenance, his content for about a year at that point, and he had mentioned this event, Entrepreneur Academy Live, LAL, and I said, I want to go to this, and this was 2 years ago, and my mom said, you can't go by yourself, so I got her ticket, and we went down to the conference, and I went away with a whole new mindset on business. it was just crazy. And then implementing those things into business the next year, uh, this past year, I think it was 2024, implementing that um, through that season, and then going back at the end of 2024. What was it, November, something like that,
Yeah.
beginning of November, going back and just having learned so much from the year before, and then learning so much more. And then I attended a mastermind class with Mark Bradley
Yeah.
on um, that Sunday. But really, I wanted to go to meet other guys in the same industry and see where I want to go in these next couple years,
Mm.
because you can't go anywhere without a roadmap. So it's I just I have no idea. I wanted to go. We went, and it was a great experience.
Man, that's fire. So, why don't you tell us, like, how long have you been in business, and what made you decide to start a lawn and landscaping business, Carter?
So I started my business originally in 2019. I was 10 years old. It was at my it was at my uncle and aunt's house at the time in town. We had just built a house a couple minutes from town, and I didn't have any way to, get anything anywhere. So I just started up there. I did his yard and I did a neighbor's yard, and I made a couple bucks, and I was like, this is awesome. So I came home, I think it was the next year, and I did my neighbor across the way, and I was making money. I thought that was the greatest thing. And then um I I believe it was 3 years ago now, the 2021 or 2 season. I'm not for sure, but I found one of Henrik, the lawn care kid's videos, and it was his shop tour at 17, and I saw he had a skid steer, he had 2 trucks, mowers, and I was like, this is awesome. This is what I love. This is everything that I love. And that was early spring, I believe. Actually, it might have been in February.
Mm.
And I said, I'm going to go buy a lawnmower and we're going to jump right into it. So that first year, I believe I had probably around 15 customers, I think I ended the year out with. And looking back at it, it was terrible. That first year was so bad. There was this apartment complex, 4 buildings, and I hated mowing it. It would always stink. There's dog poop everywhere. I charged like 85 bucks for it, and it was like probably 3 or 4 acres. I thought I was making money, though. I was making money, and I was really, really happy. And that's the reason I started was, I realized I could make some sort of a living out of doing this. So,
Man, that's crazy. I did not know you started when you were 10 years old. A question I get a lot when people are starting out, it doesn't matter if they're young or they're old, but since you are young, what were some of your best ways to get customers? I mean, not, you're young now. I know that you know the game some, Carter, that you know about Google and all of that stuff. But when you're young like that and you first started out, what were some ways that you got some new customers?
um, Facebook was a huge help. I started a Facebook business profile. I had watched YouTube videos on, how to start a Facebook business profile, and I had drafted something up um, on my, I think it was computer or cell phone or something like that. I drafted something up and I sent it out, I believe, on my personal feed, and then shared it to um, like a neighborhood feed or something something along those lines. And I got a couple calls, and really that's kind of what kicked it off. And then looking back on it, actually, I went door to door.
Mm,
Every house, I every house in our town, I went to every one of their doors, knocked on the door, and gave them a flyer and asked to sign up. And um, that was another help. It wasn't really a help. I only ended up getting like two from it. But I'm not saying you shouldn't go out and do that, because um, other people do it and it does work. And I would encourage you to try it, see if it works for you. But I I did research before I started just going out there to, um, I guess, just so I wasn't going in clueless
mm.
and, you know, going nowhere.
Yeah, when people first start out, they just don't know what they don't know. And
Yeah.
for me, whenever I first started out, it was Facebook for me as well. I put a Facebook
Yeah.
thing. I made a Facebook page. My business used to be called Mac Elite Lawn Service, which was I felt way too long. Even Mac Landscaping Lawn Care is kind of long as well. But I was not unwilling to go out there and knock on the doors. Now, Carter might not have got a lot of customers because he was young. And sometimes
Yeah.
people they just, "Oh, you're young. I'm not about to pay you 30 or $40 to cut my
Yep.
yard back then." And so you get some bias when it comes to that, but there's no substitute for going out and actually trying things. People can tell you, they could tell you the rules to the game, but if you don't go out and play the game, you ain't ever gonna know. So there's a lot of different ways you can do that. Facebook, your Instagram page, being on Google, knocking on doors, flyers, yard signs, and right now is the best time. But um once you now that you have established yourself some, do you have a website? Like what are some good ways that you're getting customers now?
So one of the biggest things is having a brand. I really early on, after that first year, I realized, I can't put this on a shirt. It's stolen right off of the internet. I colored something out and put my name in there, and I just knew that wasn't going to work. So that was the first step. I contacted Adam and Lauren with Branded Bull. Shameless plug there. Those guys are great. Um, Anything branding, marketing, anything like that. Another thing was I got a presence on Google. I started asking for reviews and made sure that that was optimized to its fullest to reach the customers. So you can go through some kind of a checklist on there. I'm not 100% sure, but it'll basically list out, what you can do to make sure you appear on a search if someone is looking for lawn care in the area. I believe it's SEO. I'm not an expert on that.
Yeah.
Contact Adam and Lauren if you're interested in that. But another thing I just sent out was postcards with Postcard Mania. Those guys are excellent over there. I actually had Adam and Lauren design my the actual card itself to send out, but I used Postcard Mania to send out my cards, and they hit the mailboxes 2 weeks ago when I was down in Florida for spring break, and it was call after call after call.
Wow.
It was insane. I got back Monday and I went, it was like 30 plus estimates that I had to knock out.
Wow.
It was insane. So was that was awesome, I think. And um Instagram and Facebook, still staying on those platforms, but just presenting yourself professionally. Like, I implement a lot of chat GPT. I know it sounds strange, but into my business, on the marketing side, because that's not what I specialize in. And you can enter a prompt in there and it'll spit you out in a something that will and catch people's attention based
Yeah.
on people's proven strategies or something like that. And I know Mark Bradley at one of his masterminds talked about that a lot, is implementing Chat GPT into a business, and um, it's that's also been a huge help. So
Yeah, ChatGPT and this AI stuff, the people who aren't using it, I started to use it for YouTube to help me with descriptions just because
yeah,
the if you can use something that's gonna minimize your time, everyone knows what I say, stress-free lawn care. The things that you can do and use to take stress out of your life will make you more efficient so that you can focus on things that are more important. Why should you rack your brain learning how to do stuff? My dad said, "We gotta come up with a will. I want you to handle everything." He don't have a will. I was like, "Well, I don't really have a lawyer either." But hold on, you put ChatGPT in here. And we wrote up a will real quick. Now all we gotta do is go and get the thing notarized. So there's all
yeah,
these different things that you can use this AI stuff for that will help you out in the long run. And Carter certainly is dropping some nuggets already. This is 16 years old. We've been supposed to do this for I don't know. We talked about this was in November last year. We talked about you coming on, brother, and now
yeah, bro.
we finally we finally making it happen. But my man Clark Williamson says he started when he was 9 years old, so he's trying to beat you to the
Nice.
punch. He said tell him about me. So there we go. Ricky's Pro Lawn Service is in the building. But um, what kind of equipment are you using? And also, before you answer that question, are people ever shocked when they actually meet you? Because I'm sure you talk to people on the phone and you
Yeah.
sound much older than you actually are. Are they shocked when they see, this young man come up to their house?
Right now, I actually have somebody else answering the phone for me while I'm at school. So,
Ugh.
so, so um, yeah, they actually some people, you kind of show up at their house and you knock on the door for the estimate, and they're kind of like, uh, "It's not what I was expecting," but um, I assure them that just because I'm young, you're still gonna get the better, if not, the same quality of service as some of the big fish in the area. So, um, they are sometimes shocked. Some people blow it off though, and it really irritates me. I don't let it get to me too bad or too much, but um, when somebody doesn't take you seriously, it's irritating. But uh, yeah, a lot of people are shocked. So,
I know I was shocked. This boy was driving a damn Cadillac, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. And it's the Cadillac that I wanted. I was like, "Oh,
oh, dude,
oh my god, I can't
we had
believe
it
what I see."
for we had it for about a month. It was my uncle's. We were I had just started driving, and we only had 2 cars at the time, 2 vehicles, and, when we were in that transition phase, he was kind enough to, lend us that for about a month. So, it's not mine, I just wanted to clear that air, but dude, it's a sweet, sweet
Yes,
car.
it is. Yes, it is.
It's quick too. I'm not gonna that's as far as I'll go, but, it's quick.
Carter's out here NASCAR in the Cadillac out and stuff. But
Hey, hey, hey.
well, how many properties are you currently taking care of, if you know? And then what is the your equipment setup that you're using to take care of these properties?
Let me look really quick. It right now I don't have an exact answer for you. I'm trying to
You
look
can ballpark
really
it.
quick. Probably around 25, 30, somewhere in there
Mm,
currently. So, um it's gaining growing every day. I got a call down in Florida actually to service I think it was 20 commercial properties. So I'm still
nice.
waiting to receive that bid back, but I'm very confident in getting that. So we're just waiting on approval for that, but we
Nice.
have been in communication.
Well, we have a
And
question. My bad. Go ahead.
what was the other question? Oh, equipment.
Yeah, equipment.
Um, we run Skag mowers. We have a Skag uh, Tiger Tiger Cat 2
Hmm.
still in storage. I haven't even pulled them out yet. Tiger Cat 2, and then a Skag Liberty Z, and that is going to get phased out this year for a stand-on mower and probably another um, either stand-on or uh, equivalent to the Tiger Cat. So
Nice.
then I
So,
just picked up a new F-250 this past week too.
well,
So super,
congratulations.
super pumped up about that too.
Wow. F-250. That's fire. So why did you decide to go with Skag over any of the other brands?
That's what my dad had. He bought a Skag way back in the day. That's what he had. Uh, way back in the day, 2016, 15.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, I was about to say you don't have a back in the day, bro. Yeah.
uh he um he bought one. I really was happy with the cut quality. I've been on mowers since I was like 5. So um I I like the product that they build,
Hmm.
and they do build a good product, and I have great dealer support. That's one of the number one things too, is it's all about the dealer support as well. So,
Absolutely. That's why I always talk about Penhale's Rental, my favorite dealers, because
mhm.
of their
Yeah.
support. And that's why I got Toro Mowers, is because that's what they have and they're 15 minutes from my house. So it's
Yeah.
proximity, dealer support, and then what product do you actually like? Because just to be totally honest, for the most part, all of the big name brands are dope. Exmark's dope, John Deere's dope, Wright Mowers are dope, Ferris is dope, Skag is dope, Toro, they're all amazing. So when people ask me, Carter, I'm like, they're like, well, what mower should I get? Look, bro, whatever's the closest to you, or ma'am.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Whatever's the closest to you, and are those people nice when you get there? Now,
Yeah.
they should just be nice, but they'll really
Yes.
be nice once you start spending money. Like, customer service is
Yeah.
important, but, like, when I walk into Penn Hills Rental, everyone, it's like I said, Carter wouldn't know what Cheers is because 'cause I'm old and he ain't. But everyone knows my name when I walk in there. Why? Because 'Cause I've spent probably $100,000 in their mowers and
Yeah. Yeah.
different
For sure.
equipment and maintenance and all of that type of stuff. But the Dutch cut says, Carter, congrats, Carter. I wish I was that smart, as smart as you. And I wasted a lot of years goofing off. Oh, we all have, bruh. We all have. But he also had
Thank
a
you, man.
question. He
I did
says,
see that.
yeah, he says, how do you juggle school? The chicks probably dig the little business. That's funny. How do you juggle school and you've mentioned a little bit, but how do you go about juggling that? And do you have any employees?
um yeah, so juggling school is uh I'm gonna be honest, it's a pain. So I'm not proud of this, but I probably don't put as much focus on school as I should. It does reflect in grades. They are passing, but they're not where they should be. But you know, we're working it up there. So
Hmm.
um, it's really tough to juggle it. But I mean, I just got to push through. I've only got a couple years left. The school offers a program where you can go in for uh, 2-3 hours and then do the rest of your work online. So that may be um, a an option that I
Yeah.
plan on looking into very soon. And I do have some employees. I'm still waiting to hear back from one of them, but the other one, it sounds like we have the green light um, this year. So
Nice. Well, listen, you grades, they're they are important, and I'll never say that they're not. But at least you're doing something that is making you money. My dumb ass was just wasting my time, not doing my work and doing all of that. And I was not doing anything else. I was playing basketball at gym class, and that's pretty much all I cared about. Whereas at least you're out here being a businessman. And I couldn't understand what the teachers were trying to teach me because of how my life was, how I grew up. Uh, is it hard for you to deal with some of the teachers? Because you know, back whenever I was in high school, before you were even born, they were pushing like you got to go to college and do all of this stuff, where you're not going to be anything. Well, you have literal friends that are millionaires. You know what I mean? You're in master classes with a guy who sold a company for, I don't know, he might be a billionaire, and Mark
I
Bradley.
the
You know
from
what I
what I've
mean?
heard, it sounds he's oh my goodness,
So
he's
so how
insane.
is it a little harder for you to like, or do teachers or counselors or anything ever say anything negative?
Um, uh, Not really that I can think of. I know that it's not really um a subject that gets touched on often because uh I've tried to get the bid for the school for
Mm,
the past 2 years. Um, Last year I submitted it using the wrong budget, so it was like I was so mad. I it was like it was a crazy number, and I was like, this doesn't seem right. I sent it out anyways. I ended up losing it, but um, they are aware of the business, and they do know that it takes up a lot of my time. And we
mm.
have had some rough meetings about that, but it's not to the point where it's, hey, you got to lay this off. It's what can we do to help you?
Well, that's awesome, because that's
Yeah.
how it should be. That's how it should be. A lot of the times, in my experience, Carter, is the older people tend to be stuck in a way that they think things should be, because that's how they went through it.
Hmm.
But and then they can't understand that things change. I was one of my friends, he's in college, and he said that he told his counselor about me and showed him my YouTube channel, and he was like, "No one's gonna watch that or
Yeah.
listen to that shit,
Hmm.
whatever." He just don't know. I was like, I'm helping more people than you are in your college class." You know what I mean?
Yeah. Uh huh.
But they just don't know, because they can't see it, because that's not their
Right.
life, and that's okay. But I'm happy
Yeah.
to hear that they're supportive of you and that they're trying to help you out. And the cool thing is, I know the RFS, the Cincy twins, Carter and Caleb, they literally changed legislation in their area in Cincinnati.
Wow.
Those guys got out of school early, like you were just talking about, and they hired all of their boys, and they got their boys out of school so they could go out and cut grass. And now they
Yeah.
cutting the school's grass and everything. So,
Yeah, bro.
like, it's really cool. So you are on the right track. But we got another question from Ricky's Pro Lawn Service, one of my OGs. He
Yeah,
says,
we
"Is
went
this?"
out to Texas Roadhouse, remember? That was
Yeah, yep,
oh,
yep,
man.
and Cold
Those
Stone
rolls.
Creamery. He
Ah,
uh
dude.
he was there, bro. He
Yeah.
says, "Is business a stepping stone or something else? Is there something else in your future?"
I haven't really planned, I guess, out that far. Right now, I'm very happy with, where I am as terms of business, but I think I would like to use this as a to get into some sort of real estate where I'm renting things out, but of course not get too caught up in that. I'd like to grow this as much as I can, and the goal one day is to be a Mark Bradley sized business. I think that's um, it's a big goal, but I think with the right steps, it's obtainable.
And you are doing things that are going to lead you in that direction. I love that you have vision for where you want to go. That is so important, whether you're young or you're old. Like, to sit here with a 16-year-old young man who has a vision to where he wants to go. I was not thinking about doing real estate when I was 16 years old. We only recently started in the last 5 to 10 years. thinking about stuff like that. I'm 41, bruh. So you're 16 years old. There's no stopping you because you already know that the time is now. You're already acting with urgency. You're already investing into your brain, your knowledge. You're creating relationships within the industry that you would like to grow in. And I think it is a beautiful thing, bro. I'm so happy that I have you as a young friend. I hope that there's some way I could help you in your future. And we got Rising Justin over here on Instagram. He says
Oh
Carter is
boy.
sit. He said that's your friend. You know him.
Yeah.
He says Carter is sitting in school building trucks on Ford.com.
Oh, dude, I am too. That's the best part about it. Like I have 15 plus saved trucks, and that's the teachers can see my screen and they'll kick me out of it because they're like, "Oh, stop building trucks." And I'm like, "Dude, come on." Hey, I got to show a little love to GMC too. I think their trucks look great, but you know, I
Oh
am.
man,
That's the best part about it.
I love how you lit up for that. See, that
Oh yeah.
that is the best when you figure out the thing that you enjoy doing. And again, this is why I get so excited when I talk to younger people. It's because you guys figure it out already. It took me years and years and years to figure out this thing. And he already has it, already has a vision for his life. Let that be inspiring and motivating to you if you're younger, but also if you're older. Because do you ever have any any problems with like older guys who someone is helping them or some crazy stuff like that when that ain't really the case? Has that ever been an issue for you?
Not that I can think of.
Well, that's good. That's good. And they better not do it while I'm around. I tell you that right now,
Mhm.
because I got your back, Carter. Uh, no, but so what are your some of your goals for this season?
So, this season I I have this broken down here in my budgeting software.
See,
Let
boy,
me
you
pull
got it
this up.
broken down.
LMN, dude, it's awesome. So this year's goal is $325,000 in total, split into three divisions: lawn maintenance, landscaping, and then snow and ice management. Lawn, I think I have set at 150. Landscaping would be at 75, and uh, snow would be at 100, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Um, I don't have the best grade in math right now, but I think that equals that amount. I think it's definitely a big goal, but um, like I said earlier, with the right um, systems put into place, it's obtainable. So,
That is amazing. And see, you got to have big, hairy, audacious goals. That's what I heard
yeah,
from a lot of different people because they say, and I've heard, I love this saying, shoot for the moon because even if you miss, you land amongst the stars. So why not have some big, crazy goal out there? Create smaller goals that will help you get to that
yeah.
big crazy goal. He has it broken down into three different tiers, three different things that are lawn and landscape. We got lawns, then we got landscape, and then we got snow removal. What kind of stuff are you doing for snow removal? You planning on putting a plow on that truck?
Yep, we did nothing. We didn't do anything last year, but we plan to change that. We're gonna get back in touch with um, Branded Bull, see if we can get some kind of a snow postcard targeted more towards commercials sent out um, this summer, actually, and just try to work that in phases through the fall, and then see where that gets us. And if I start panicking, then um, I don't know. I haven't thought that far out, but we'll see.
Man,
And,
look, man, you're inspiring me. Let me know down in the comment section if Carter is inspiring you, because like I said, always get jazzed up whenever I get to talk to someone who's young. And you're a young. I'm gonna start. I got a nickname for you, Carter.
uh oh,
the visionary. That's what I'm gonna be calling
The
you from now on.
visionary. Oh,
Carter, when he gets in here, he will be the visionary, man.
the
I
visionary.
love that. Cause listen, I've talked to some other young people, but not a lot of them has talked about, I want to do real estate here. I have this broken down into here. And you're not just doing the you're not just doing the regular things. You got LMN. That's one of the top CRMs that's out there, right?
Oh, yeah.
He's
Mhm.
dealing with Branded Bull, who's helping with the branding side of this. Dude is thinking. He's paving his own path. He ain't just walking down the same road as so many of us other people have done and are doing. He's thinking outside the box and doing things different, especially than other kids. Is it hard for you to relate to some of the other kids that are in your school or some of your friends? Do they or are you being like a mentor to some of them?
Um, I tend to keep my business goals kind of quiet at school just because I really don't like talking about that amongst um I don't know how you word this, like those peers just at school because it I don't like stuff. I just don't like that kind of being popular for that wrong reason.
Yeah.
And so they really don't know unless they see this what that goal is. But um what was the original question? I'm sorry.
It's just like, is it a little harder to relate because, you're
Yeah.
doing something completely different than what most high school kids are doing?
It is. And I can sit and look, and especially during like September and stuff, I see all these other kids, or I mean, even in July or August when you're just feeling burnt out, and then you go on to Instagram and you see, your buddies and stuff, and you think, why can't I just drop this all and just be a kid? Um, that's one thing I struggle with, but we uh it- I'm not really, I guess, in a mentoring position
Mm,
um at school. A couple other kids have lawn care setups and businesses, and they will occasionally ask a couple questions and stuff like that. Or even if I need some more manpower, I'll contact these guys and see if we can knock it out. But I like to keep my business quiet kind of at school just because what if people I don't want people to like me for that reason. I want them to like me for who I am
yeah.
outside of the business as a person. So,
Yeah. That's great, man. Because everyone's not going to understand anyway.
right.
I'm a grown adult, and people, I have a hard time talking to my peers because they
Yeah.
just don't see things the way we see them. So I like the fact
Mhm.
that you want to keep those things separate so that you can still be a 16-year-old kid, even if I see you as a 16-year-old man. I think you're amazing. I really do. And you really impressed me up there in Michigan. I do not want to keep you on here all night because I know you got school tomorrow.
I
Um,
get to go in late tomorrow, so I'm good. I could be
oh,
on here all
okay.
night, man.
See, look at that. He's he's doing things a little different. Why you get to go in late tomorrow? What's
The other kids take Spanish, and I'm not in Spanish. So,
oh well.
no habla español. Ah, hey,
I don't speak
sí,
Spanish either.
bien. Man, I don't know.
Chat GPT.
Yeah, buddy.
Oh my goodness. So what are your plans for you going to Equip Expo or any of that stuff? Any other live events that you plan on doing this year?
I'd like to go down to Equip. I haven't been there. I hear it's like the best thing in the world. So, I really want to go down to Equip. I plan on attending it as some sort of LMN mastermind. I'm not sure which one. Something close to me. I was going to attend the one that's happening right now, but scheduling wasn't working out,
Mm.
and I couldn't make it down to Miami for the week. So I had to do school.
Oh my gosh, man. See, I would I don't envy, but I just sometimes I say I wish I could go back in time. You can't
Yeah,
do that obviously,
I understand that.
but I do get to live vicariously through some of the younger people in our industry because like I said before, it's just so inspiring to see young people who know what they want, who are ne- most likely never going to have a quote unquote real job. You already get entrepreneurship. And so why would you like you're going to live the life that most people dream about, Carter. You driving a Cadillac at 16 years old, whether it's your uncle's or not. Like you're seeing a different side of things. And a lot of people don't get that opportunity. So I'm happy that you are living that up to the fullest, keeping things separate so that you can remain a young person to your peers, but also you're going to be respected as a man to the people in the industry because of your thought process, because of the things that you're doing. So I'm just really, really proud of you. Not that I need or you need to hear it from me, but I am very proud of you. And I know the rest of these people who are watching it, like Alex Flores, he said, this kid is going to go far and do big things. Let's go. That's,
Thanks, man.
yeah. So I appreciate you, man, being on the show. Um, do you have any advice for anyone who is brand new in the game?
I do. Find what works for you. Of course, you're not going to find that right out of the gate, but everyone is different. You can't go on the internet and, compare yourself to anybody. And it'll get in your mind, and then you're you won't you'll just sit there and spin your wheels because you'll be too distracted on, I've got to have this or have that. It's you set your own rules, and then you play by those rules. I mean, try to stick to those as much as you can. But of course, another thing is find a good CRM like Yardbook. Yardbook is excellent for keeping track of, your estimates and customers invoicing. Yardbook is awesome. That's what I was using. Um, then let's see. Don't undercut yourself. That's what I see a lot of guys that are new in the industry. I was just on Facebook before this, and in a local group, this one, I don't even know the guy's name, but he, you know, $20 cuts any size salon. If it's bigger, it goes for 30. I mean, don't do that. It's hurting everyone in the industry. It's hurting yourself. It's hurting other guys. I would highly advise you to do some sort of calculation on what it costs for you to run your mowers, run your trailers, blowers, anything, and get even a rough number helps. It's better than nothing. So, finding the number that works right for you, and just don't be that the $20 guy. So,
Yeah, man.
and there's nothing wrong with, doing that your first year. It's just, you know, do a little bit more research before you go out
Yeah.
and charge 20. So,
That's great advice, man. I mean, you might be able to charge your grandma 20.
oh,
But
yep.
my goodness gracious, man, cut the $20 cuts out. That's,
Yeah.
$33 cuts. And you're out there for an hour cutting someone's yard. You shouldn't be getting paid $30. You shouldn't be getting
Hmm.
paid $35.
Yeah.
Like if you're putting your all into it, if you're going to landscape masterminds, if you're going to different live events to learn, you're investing in yourself by watching YouTube videos and listening to podcasts, doing things on Chat GPT to make yourself better, you deserve to get better because you're giving more value, right? When you first start out, you might not know, and it's okay to not know.
Yep.
But you heard Carter Vedrode, right? He didn't know when he was 10 years old. Now he knows. You can know too, man. That's great advice, Carter. Where can everyone find you if they want to get in touch with you after they hear you crushing the game here on this podcast?
Let me make sure I get this right because I just had to change it because I thought it looked pretty stupid. But Carter underscore Vedrode on Instagram, and c.v. landscaping on Instagram, and then CV landscaping on YouTube. We're hoping to post some more videos on YouTube, kind of grow that some more, and post on Instagram some more. The last one was January 1st. So I'm not as prominent on Instagram, but look us up on Facebook. Can't miss it. Big Green CV. So really appreciate you having me on this evening. Had a great time. I did want to touch on one
Go
last
ahead.
question from the Dutch cut. It was that how do you juggle school and the chicks probably dig a little businessman? Ladies, you know who you are. Hit me up, man. That was my time.
Oh my gosh, man, this dude is.
You know who you are. I mean, I don't gotta say much else. But you know, show you boys some love. So
Oh my gosh, Carter. Oh my God, man. This has been amazing. That is such a great way to exit the show. Oh, I love you. I appreciate you. I wish you nothing but success, man. Get some
yeah,
sleep.
man.
No Espanol tomorrow. You get to go to school
Hey,
a little bit late
bien,
later. He's also
man.
a comedian. Not only is he a smart businessman, a future great property owner and all of that good stuff.
See,
He's gonna
see,
be at your local improv coming soon. Carter Vedrode out here, CV Landscaping. Again, bro, thank you for coming on the show tonight. I
yeah,
appreciate
man.
the great
Anytime.
conversation, the great advice that you've given, the light that you have brought to this show, to the industry, and the things that you're going to continue to do for yourself, for the world, for your family, and for your future, bro. Keep killing it.
Yeah, man. Really appreciate that. Thanks for having me on. It's a great time. So
No doubt. Peace out, brother. Have a good day.
yeah.
Damn, I cut him off. My bad. Hold on. There he's back.
Oh,
I cut you off. You was about to say you too. I
oh,
I cut it off before you could get it out. I apologize. I
yeah.
apologize.
No, I think I got it out. I just in my that delay. I don't know, bro. Yeah,
My bad.
but thanks for having me on.
No doubt. I'll see you next time, homie.
Yep.
Peace. Hey, that young man crushed it. Oh, that was so fire. So we have one more question in here. He says, fact 803 on two wheels says, what's the first thing I should do if I want to do what you guys do? Push mower and a weed whacker and like a snow blower I've run before when I was a kid. 41 now. What's the first thing for me to do? The first thing for you to do, if I were you, would be to tell every person that you know that you are now in business. That's going to be your fastest way to get your first customer, maybe your first 5 to 10 customers will be that way. Second thing you need to do is get on Google. It's 100% free. You can YouTube, how do I start my Google My Business page, and get some reviews put on that so that you can rank high in Google. Third, I would maybe get a website right off the rip. The more professional you can look online, the better you are going to do. If you have a website, if you have Google reviews, which is social proof that you know what you're doing, that you show up, that you do what you say you're going to do, is going to help you out a lot. You would need to get commercial auto insurance for whatever vehicle that you're going to use to transport your equipment, and you will need to have a general liability policy. I started with a push mower, a handheld blower, and a curve shaft string trimmer that was handed down to me by my grandfather-in-law. I got a $99 handheld Troy built blower, and I had bought a 143cc push mower from Sam's Club, and I got out there and got after it. So if you want to do what we do, and you want to grow into whatever it is that you want to grow into, those are the things that I would do. Tell anybody that you know that you're in business, get on Google, get yourself a website, make sure you have proper insurance for your vehicle and a general liability policy for your business so that if anything happens, you are taken care of. Also, keep your cost as low as possible when you first start out. You do not want to have some $200 or $300 mower payment and no yards to mow. There's a lot of people that get themselves in trouble because they want to go out there and have the dope things like my homie Brian Fullerton. He has some amazing things. I have some amazing things now. But you are not going to start off the rip and want to go out there and get yourself in debt thinking that you're going to succeed at this. Build slow, build at your own pace. Don't try to be like someone else. That's what I would do if I were you. I appreciate the question and I wish you nothing but success, my man. If I can do it, you can do it too. Plan to work too, as well. My man Harold says, plan to work, then work your plan. Organization and professionalism is key. Absolutely, man. You got to be professional too. Choose a color that you want to wear. Go out there and look the part, man. Because I'll tell you one thing, if you go out there and you're playing around, you're going to get ran over. You're going to get ran over by the customers. You're going to get ran over by your competitors. There is no competition but you. I will say that I ain't in competition with the other lawn care guys in my area. I'm only in competition with me and what do I want to do with my life. But there's some guys out there, they're professional. You know, if you're out there with gym shorts on and white Air Force Ones and no shirt with a cigarette in your mouth, you ain't the type of guy I want on my yard or lady. And the ladies most likely ain't got their shirts off. But what I'm saying is look professional, be professional, do things in a professional way, act and respond in a professional manner. Set yourself apart from the quote unquote Chuck in the trucks, right? But we all start as Chuck in a truck or Dan in a van or Mar in a car. All right. Eventually, you will be who you want to be, but it does take hard work, planning, and you have to execute. But it can be done, man, because I'm living proof. Carter Vedrode is living proof. The other people that you see on the internet, they are living proof that anyone can do this. You do not have to be a scholar. You do not have to graduate from Yale or Harvard. You don't even have to graduate from high school. You can be a person that was in prison before. It doesn't matter who you are. It just matters what are you going to do. I think that should be the last shot. It don't matter who you are. I always say those who won't don't. So if you won't do something, then you don't deserve to have it. But if you want it, you can have it. All you got to do is get to work, man. You will figure it out as you go. You will build your plane while you're in the sky. That's exactly what happens, man. You jump off that cliff like the Red Bull competition. Most people, they just dive down in the water and quit. But there's those certain people, man, they've built something good because they got faith. They got faith in themselves, they got faith in God, they got faith in the industry, and they got faith that the person that they're doing it for, the reason that they're doing it for, is big enough to give them the wings that they need so they can soar. That's you. That's us. That's the people that are in this industry, hardworking people, professional people who are out here trying to win in life, but not just for themselves, for their families, for their future, for the world, for God. It is important that you do the thing that you feel called to do. You wouldn't be watching some live show. I don't even know who that guy was. I never seen him in here before, but shout out to him, man. FAC 8306 on two wheels. Uh, anyone can do this. You don't got to be some special person. I know for a 100% fact, I am not special, but I am willing, right? All you got to do is be willing, willing to believe in yourself, willing to ask a question, willing to watch something, willing to try something new. Just be willing and it will happen for you. As always, I love you. I appreciate you. I wish you nothing but success. And remember, the Creator created you to be creative. So get out there and create whatever you want in your life. Because I'm out. Peace.